Hi ladies, it's lovely to have time with you today and to be able to yarn with you. So my name is Maree Cutler-Naroba and I'm currently residing in Kununurra in East Kimberley up in the northwest Australia, and I'm the program manager for a club, and that club is called the Maganda Makers Club. It's a club for Kimberley Indigenous women that are aspiring, emerging and established in business. So we've got about 130 women right across the Kimberley, so east and west, which is really exciting. We've got a team involved, so I'm officially like the club manager, the bit of the engine room, and then we've got our club captain Natasha Short, and her business is Kimberley Gigas. Gigas is the Jaru word, which is one of the Aboriginal languages up here for birds. So it's a movement of Kimberley Indigenous women, so it's a bit of a play on the word birds. So the club sits underneath her business. And then we've also got a club administrator, Karen Tari, and she's Maori from New Zealand. She works remotely out of Perth, and as you've probably picked up from my accent, I'm Kiwi too, and I've been over here in Australia 10 years with my husband, Tavita. So I'm a Palmerston North girl, schooling in Christchurch, yes, and then my career, etc., and up in the Waikato. But this is about me. And as I said, girls, I might get a wee bit excited just at this whole thing of talking to Kiwi girls, but I'll try to keep us moving and on track with what we want to yarn about today, which is just to hear your stories around your business and particularly around e-commerce. So I thought we'd just kick off with you introducing yourselves, where you're from in New Zealand, your tribe, your language, and just to share something of your culture with our beautiful Kimberley Indigenous women. So Ainsley, would you like to kick off, and then maybe Jodie and then Cecilia after that?
Sure, not a problem. Nā mei atu koutou. Ko wai au, e rere kau mai te awa nui. Mai te kau I maunga ki tangaro. Ko au te awa, ko te awa ko au. Ko ruape te maunga, ko wanganui te awa. Ko ateo nui a paparangi te iwi. Ko Ngā te kurua te hapu, ko te ao mārama taku marae. Ko Shane Brunton taku hua rangatira, e toku toru, oku tamariki. Say that in English to translate. The river flows from the mountains to the sea. I am the river and the river is me. The Ruapehu is our mountain. Wanganui River is our river. My tribe is Atiho Nui a Paparangi. My sub-tribe is Ngāti Kuruatia, which is up the middle reaches of the Wanganui River. I have a beautiful husband called Shane and 3 beautiful children. So that's just a little bit about me. I can go as deep a dive as you want me to go, and I can go as light as well. But I'll just keep it at a moderation for now. But the more you get to know me, the more you're going to start understanding who I am and where I come from. Kia ora no tātou.
Yeah, kia ora, Ainsley. It's lovely. Jodie?
Kia ora, Ainsley. I just love that about the river, you know. I'm so down with the river. Kia ora, all the awesome wahine toa we call here in New Zealand, which is very strong women all over wherever you are. I think you're amazing. I feel really privileged to be here and share our journey. So, ko poki ha popo te maunga, ko waiamoko te awa, ko Ngāti Konohi te hapu, ko Ngāti Parau te iwi, ko Whangarā taku marae, ko Jodie aho. So for the whānau, I am from a place where Paikea the Whale Rider movie was filmed. Everybody knows about that. And that's where my kāinga is. And so I live in a place called the Motherland, off the grid. You might hear my generator running. I am at home, I'm on my whenua, my land, barefoot, eating crayfish legs, and I'm just living my best life and using e-commerce to stay home on my nan's whenua. I've been on a healing journey. I've had a lot of shit happen, and I'm a whole new being from turning back home. So just sending so much aroha wherever you are. That's me. Kia ora.
Kia ora, Jodie. Hi, Cecilia.
Oh, kia ora, Maree. How are you? Such a blessing to be here with these women and with you and with the women that you represent as well. So I'm really looking forward to where this journey takes all of us. I'm living here in Brisbane. I was born and raised here in Brisbane. Both my parents moved over here in the late 60s. And so me and my 7 other siblings were born and raised here. And then about the mid 80s, we moved back to New Zealand. What a shock. what a shock that was to move, I should say, to New Zealand, because I'd never been there before, but I lived at home for the last 25 years, and that really is my heart now. And when I hear Ainsley and I hear Jodie speak in the reo and the language, it brings tears to my eyes, because I feel my heart soars to be home. But I do love it in Australia, because Australia is my home as well. And I do put both my feet on both soils, and I love both places. And I have great memories and places and spaces in both areas. That's me. I'm married. I have 4 children ranging from 25 down to 9. And that's us. I'm excited to be here with you.
Lovely. Thank you, Cecilia. So, Cecilia, we'll come straight back to you after that beautiful introduction. And I too just feel very warmed and emotional from hearing Jodie and Ainsley speaking language as well. I haven't heard that for a long time. So, yeah, I'm a bit teared up myself. So, Cecilia, can you tell us a bit about your business?
Yeah.
What products or services do you sell? And we'd really love to, in particular, hear the why behind your business.
Yeah, absolutely. I came into the program, unlike a lot of the other people who already had existing businesses. I don't have a business background. So I came in because I saw an opportunity to learn something new, which was e-commerce. And I wanted to move out of working in a job. And my why was to be able to live between 2 countries here in Australia, and to be able to go home and live on our whenua at home, for us to be able to travel backwards and forwards. And so that has a lot to do with my why, for why I came in to learn about e-commerce. So when I started with e-commerce with Kahau Te Ao, what I did was I started a t-shirt business, which did designs and things like that. And so I started doing that. But what I found in that process was that I'm not really good at pushing products. and that I'm more of a service kind of person. I'm really people relational, and so I'm in the process right now of creating new content and new service business, and going into coaching and working with cross-cultural kids.
Wow.
So working with kids that have grown up away from their parents' homeland. Wow. So I'm creating content at the moment that addresses those type of issues. Most of them are hidden issues that people aren't even aware that are happening for our children and our families that are growing up away from home, wherever home is. And it's very different for parents to what it is for the children that are growing up in the other countries. So that's where I am now at the moment. I'm creating content for that and looking at putting that online and creating online courses.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's
and my why is one that addresses my own need that I had as a Māori child growing up in Australia. So I understand the holes and the gaps that we carry when we grow up away from home. So I've got a lot of experience in that I can share with families from all sorts of cultures. And the other why is so I can also return home, live on our whenua. My ideal lifestyle would be living on the shack at home with, some solar panels, and go fishing off my beach and eating crayfish legs and growing my own veggies and some chickens. That, for me, that is the epitome of life for me, and being able to do that with my family and my grandchildren. But to have an income.
Yes.
So that if I want to travel back to Australia or anywhere else to see my grandchildren, because my children are here, that I can do that. So it's about freedom.
Awesome. Love it. Thank you.
Thank you.
And what about you, Ainsley?
Oh, yes. Well, everything I do in my life, there's a reason and there's a purpose. But I'm one of these people, you've got to understand my past to know my beginning.
Wow.
And so I started my business it's called Rua Tupua. Now, I mentioned in my mihi about Te Awa Tupua, which is our river. Rua Tupua is the streams that come into the river. I have this analogy with regards to hauora, which is well-being, and about life's journeys. And it signifies the lines of the river. On our river, we have places where it's really calm and serene, and it's so beautiful that you can admire the beauty around us. And then you come to a part of the section within the river where it's got rapids, Now, some of those rapids, they vary. Well, that's the same in life. Our trauma, our struggles vary. So when we go through the rapid, my mind, when I go through a rapid and come out the other end, I've just gone through a challenge of my life. So part of this was all by accident. A person, one of my besties, my wahine, my wairua sister, said I should do this course. And I'm one of these, I'm kind of like in this part of push and pull type of scenario going on in me. Like I want to do it, but I'm afraid because I know that I'm going to be subject to places where I've never been to. So I picked up her product, which is doTERRA oils. And the reason I picked that product was because it helps. I'm actually bipolar. I have a diagnosis of bipolar, but that does not define me. It's only a part of me. So I fight with that. And I use things like rongoa, like medicinal stuff, indigenous stuff, or even just Pākehā objects to make me feel stable. And I've done very well at that for the last 20-something years. And that was the product that I decided to do to utilize that as my well-being. So I use those to help, especially when I'm anxious. What people see, like you guys looking at me, I seem very confident. I'm very assertive. But what you don't see is underneath here, it's a bit like, oh, shit, I'm having to say something, Yeah, but that was the reason. So I kind of like fell into e-commerce. And then I got my name. There was another organization that helped with my logo. And I went into places that I've never heard of before. But I'm pretty savvy when it comes to the computer, but I still didn't understand the language. Some of the language that gets used in amongst profit margins was Klaviyo. Klaviyo is a program that you can use to help, and things other applications that you can use to help boost your content. So that was a lot of a learning for me. And saying that, and I'm going to go back to my past. My past doesn't define me.
Yeah, that's right.
And it supports me. I could give you a roll of toilet paper of my story. No, because at the end of the day, for me, all that kōrero now for me is non-relevant. I've overcome. It doesn't trigger me.
Awesome.
So I've been able to get past all that bullshit that's happened and be able to focus on something that was, I'm so proud. I'm so proud of my business. Because now I brought in my daughter. My daughter now helps out because she's got the creativity involved. So it subtly has not only helped myself. One was keeping me on track with a target within the program. Yeah. Having stuff that I had to like a list of that I have to do. It made me be more like, okay, I wake up in the morning. Oh, I've got to get this done. I've got to get that done. So it gave me structure to be able to concentrate what I need to do. Now I'm at the part where, and I'm going to blow this trumpet, I've gone from a student to a team leader where I led the next lot of team to go through. And now I'm doing the Done With You program that's got another team going for the next level up. So, awesome. The world's your oyster. That's anybody can achieve it. Our goals, our dreams, it can be obtained. You just got to have that structure and plan it properly.
That's right. Kia ora. It's awesome. Kia ora, Ainsley. It's just beautiful and just so relatable to, a lot of our beautiful, women up here, because navigating trauma trails is very much a part of being an Indigenous woman here. And thank you for just being so vulnerable with your story. I know that it would have really, will have touched and, a number of women. I love that analogy of the rapids. Jodie, what's some of your why behind your business and what products or services do you sell?
Gosh, it's just got a little emotional. So Cecilia and I are in the Done For You program, and Ainsley is our team leader.
Oh,
and
wow.
I was saying to her, like, she holds us so, that's why I'm getting tearful, because like how she said she's anxious, we never see that. And we feel so strong when we come by her and we doubt ourselves, and she's just right there going, come on, what do we need? What are we going to do? And she's like telling us right here she's anxious. Yeah, it's just a moment for me, I think. You don't really know what's happening.
Yeah.
Hello. I mean, I've got really pretty earrings on and, I got some makeup on and it's running down my face, but I'm actually home because I left a domestic violent relationship and I came home to heal. And I had a dream of my nan and she said, come home, Bub, come home. And I was, as the mokopuna does, I'm not coming home. I'm just going to love him some more. I'm going to bring him back, you know. And 11 times I did this. And then just got to the end and was not this beautiful being you see, but a people pleaser. Just burnt out, on eggshells, shaking, trying to work out and navigate to keep my children quiet so he didn't burst into flames. And so I've actually done this Kaho program 3 times, and I am so proud of that. The first time I was with him, he would cut the power and I couldn't go or do the course. The second time I was back again, I did half the program. Third time I came back, I did it and then became a team leader. So I'm just like, it's possible, ladies, you know. Yes. I thought I couldn't breathe without him. I'm fucking keep taking big gulps. I'm just living in life, and I don't even know who I am, but I'm figuring it out. And so e-commerce has shifted it for me, and I just didn't believe in myself. So I had to go through the program more than one time, and that's okay. That is so okay. And I remember thinking, you're such a dumb shit. You're like really messing with me, but it was what I needed, because the first time I met these beautiful souls that were just light for me, like hope. And I went in and I was like, wow, you know, it was all over Australia, New Zealand. We were coming in together as a whānau and learning this hard shit. And it was just such a breath for me in that space. Like, I don't even know. I couldn't put my camera on. I was just listening, and it pulled me further into my dreams. So I really want to just say, you know, you don't have to just be so successful. Just get in there and learn something, because you shift, and it shifts inside me more than out. And now I can do anything. I can even do a video. I can just run a program. I'm doing a 3-day challenge, and it's all about my new product called Human Design. And that's what I'm rolling out. I have pivoted from poetry to human design. So mine's more a service program experience, digital products.
Yes.
And that's me. Gosh, that came out a lot. Whānau. Whew, sorry.
No, don't ever apologise. Thank you for sharing that. Ainsley, I just want to ask you, gosh, we need to get the box of tissue somewhere, don't we? Maybe that's a good product for an e-commerce business. Indigenous designed boxes of tissues. So this question is around, you know, e-commerce in itself. What does that mean to you, and how have you found it weaved through what you've done in your business? Like, did you know much more than kind of doing an email and a Facebook post, you know, as a starting point? And then you've moved further along from there. So just telling us about the e-commerce element of your business, just diving into that a bit more.
I really didn't understand the concept of e-commerce, I'll be honest. I knew about market level marketing MLM schemes.
Oh, yes.
I was involved with that prior to this and did very well. And then because it was just off the cuff kind of conversation that I had with my friend, when she mentioned e-commerce to me at that time, it just meant money. I didn't think it was about hard work, late nights. You know, I didn't see it like that, because my why was strong at the time. Yeah. I was so passionate about every step to be able to do a customer avatar. I had no bloody idea what a customer avatar was. Seriously. For me, it was like, hey, because at first, when we first went through it, there's that movie, The Avatar, the blue people.
Yes. Yeah.
I thought that's what this was. And then it got broken down for me. And I was like, oh. So yeah, then I thought I had it right. I did one off the cuff. You know, and the thing was is that I did it about myself. I was the customer avatar.
Yes. It's often the case. Yeah.
Yes, but it's not. It's often the case. What I've realised today, but that's not the taki. That's not how to do it. Yeah. Choose somebody that's not yourself, because it makes it easy to be objective about how you're going to push your marketing, and you'll be able to see about their pain points, other people's pain points. Because I was picking on all my own pain points, and it was like, so it's been gradual. Gradually, I started to understand e-commerce. My personal favorite was the Shopify store, having to get the photos and because they all had to do with computer. Some I haven't had a 10 coding, because there's some things on I got the Parallax, which is one of the, what do they call it, packages, that I was able to do some in-house coding, and because I'm one of these people, I was brought up being a haututu anyway, which is a person that likes to play with things all the time. So I would play around with it at the back, hit and miss, and then go, oh, it's working. That's how I learn most in that aspect. So the same with regards to my store. Oh, well, we tried at $5, see what happens. Because I wasn't in that serial mode. It was like I was just playing around. I really was. I wasn't taking it serious enough until my daughter got on board. Well, you see, I didn't have to think about just myself anymore. I had to do a bit more because my daughter's involved. If it was just me and myself, I can be reckless, but I can't be reckless when my children are involved. I have to be the role model that they see, and and that pride that they have. So that was my understanding with regards to e-commerce and the different things. It's a lot more in depth than what I thought, straight up, even down to how you photograph your products, your series emails, when you send out emails, how to make that flow in the background. I better leave some stuff for the other ladies. I'm stealing it all.
Jodie, for you, what was the e-commerce journey like? Were you starting from ground zero or a bit further along, or none of the above?
I'm pretty savvy on the tech stuff, which I'm laughing at Ainsley, because I remember her coming to the whole Ako session like really all mad looking, because it's probably what was happening at home. But for me, the tech stuff was fun. I was working full time as well. So it was for me, it was time management. I had a lot of other things that I had to deal with. And then it was also my self-belief. Like I had a lot of mindset work that I didn't realize was happening, but it is a real big part of this that I didn't really realize is how much mindset work. And that for us, for me, was one of the things that sort of broke the camel's back as such. And I had to just keep coming back. And I did. I kept coming back.
Yeah, that's a really good point. As a business coach, something that I often say is, as long as you're coachable and open to the learning, like a skill can be taught, a skill can be developed. And even if you think, well, I don't even know how to do an email as an example, but that can be broken down into so many steps, and it can begin with, push the button on. But in terms of mindset and being open to want to learn, if you haven't got that, then that will stop you from that skill development. So I really love that. It's not the e-commerce per se, but if you're open, got the attitude, that positive mindset, not doubting ourselves, which is something we do so much as women, it enables us to journey forward. How was the start of that e-commerce journey for you, Cecilia? Did you know how to spell the word, or actually do the there's different variations on spelling it, I know, I say that.
Oh, I know. The email came across my work desk actually, and I saw it as an opportunity that I sent out to all of the people that I support in my area. Wow. And I didn't look at it for myself. It wasn't until 2 weeks later, I was fast asleep, and then this voice came into my head and said, why don't you have a look at this?
Wow.
This for you. Because I was looking for something, and I woke up and I actually woke my husband up. I said, hey, do you know what e-commerce is? He goes, why are you talking to me at 2 o'clock in the morning? And so, that was where I started really with the whole of this. And just to give you some insight with my Facebook and things like that, I am the type of person that cults people from my list. Oh, I don't talk to that person there, they're gone. And no, I don't tell anybody what I'm doing with my life. So I'm only interested in talking to my family. Then all of a sudden I came into this program that was teaching me how to build a tribe, how to make a following, how to talk on camera, and how to present yourself so that people will want to follow you. So I had a whole mindset shift about opening up myself, about being able to believe that somebody wants to hear what I have to say, because really that was a lot of my thought was, you know what, no one wants to hear what I've got to give. No one's interested in what I have to say. And I had to work through a whole lot of that just to be able to get through the course. Again, that comes back down to what we think about ourselves, or how the reflection from outside of us comes back and tells us who we are. But I think in regards to e-commerce, what I do love and what I have learned most about it in this short time I've been in it is that I started with one business idea and I've pivoted to another business idea, and it hasn't cost a lot of money to do that. In fact, it hasn't cost me anything to change ideas. And I think that's what's so valuable, because it gives us opportunity to try new things, to try something different. If one doesn't work, then let's try something else. But the platform itself is what we want to learn how to use. And then we can put our products on, put the things that we're passionate about on it, and then use the strategies and the platforms to be able to push those things outside of ourselves. Then we can live wherever we live. We can live in the Kimberleys, we can live on the motherland, we can live anywhere. Because the internet goes everywhere. And that's what I love. It gives us so much more opportunity.
Wonderful. Thank you, Cecilia. So Jodie, I'll throw back over to you for just our last question here before we start to wrap up. But is there a couple of business tips that you would like to give the Maganda Maker woman, and perhaps one more focused towards the e-commerce? I mean, I know you've talked about mindset as well, but just a couple of tips, perhaps those that are more at the aspiring stage, they're not quite ready to take the leap into business yet. So yeah, just a couple of closing thoughts or tips from you.
How exciting. Oh my gosh, that's such a great place to be. You could have just brew up something amazing. I feel for the beautiful women that are doing this, that you should just really feel inside. You shouldn't go and ask your husband or your uncle or your dog or your cat, but come inside, because you have to deliver whatever you're delivering.
Wow.
It has to be felt. Oh my gosh. And I feel because we're serving, we have some kind of gift that all of us have, and it's up to us to sort of pull it out in the best form we feel really good in doing. So what I've done is pivoted into a digital product, which I love to make. I also do a Zoom, which I also love to do. So my whole product and building is what I love to do. And all these awesome ones out there are like, she's so awesome, she's so amazing. But I'm actually doing what I love, and then I light up, and then I go out there and they're like, whoa, she's got some kind of power. What's happening with her? It's just because I'm doing what my soul loves.
Wow.
That would be just what I'd give to them now.
Yeah, it's beautiful. The Aboriginal word here in the Kimberley for the soul is lian. So we talk about, when our lian is at peace, when our lian is well, then out of that can flow our creativity and, everything else we do in life, such as, business. So that's really powerful. It's, the soul, the heart has to be at rest.
The soul. In New Zealand, the soul is the wairua.
Yes, that's
and then
right.
we have a life force, which we call the modi.
Yes.
And so the modi is always within us, and then our wairua goes and seeks the answers to the life force, and then we just light up. And so I just can't wait to see all these beautiful women light up, and let's just light the world up,
Let's go. That's awesome. Thank you. Cecilia?
I think some of the most important tips I've learned is, if you're having trouble, ask for help. If you don't know what you're doing and you get stuck and you want to self-sabotage, let someone know, someone that you trust. My mates here are laughing because they know. They're the ones I send messages to when I feel like I'm about to jump ship. And so, let someone know. Let someone know that you're drowning. I think also, as Indigenous women, we are powerful. There is a power in us, like Jodie was talking about, that just keeps us going. We just keep going, and it does come from places of trauma, it comes from places of loss, but also it comes from places of birth and of growth as well.
Wow.
And of light. And I think as women we are powerful, and in regards to business, we are naturally gifted at doing business. We're naturally gifted at birthing and growing and nurturing. And when I look at business, I look at it in that aspect. And this poor little business that I have, I'm loving it. I'm trying to put into it the things that I feel it needs to grow into something that can, and for me, what lights me up is being able to bless other people's lives And I really should be so much more money focused, but I suck at money. But I love helping people, and I'm learning that if I just do what I love, then the other stuff will flow in as well. And so if I had any gifts to give to your beautiful women where you are, it's that, to believe in yourself and to look at your business and to nurture it like the woman that you are, like it's something that you love like a child. Yeah. Kia ora.
Wow, kia ora. Ainsley, fearless leader.
I was just listening and I could relate to Jodie and also Cecilia, you know, on their kōrero. And something was hitting my brain, which was the thing of failure, mistakes, and the way in which our cognitive thinking has taught us that failure is a negative, mistakes is a negative, whereas if we look at it from the positive, when we fail and if we get up and walk again, there's a positive. If we fail and we learn from it, that's a positive. Yeah. And that's one thing about being in e-commerce, is that we're not always going to get it right. We're not meant to, because our wairua says, no, you got more to learn than what you're doing right now. And it's branch, like Jodie said, you know, it's going out and scoping around. It's going out because it's going to find you a bigger challenge. We all, you know, that's what happens to us, is that we start on a mission and we're all hyped up, and our positivity is about that, but we always get a roadblock. Some of us will stop and won't continue the journey, but those of us that continue the journey, it's our wairua that's come back and go, no, I'll show you another way. No, and it's a matter of what Jode was saying with regards to our mindset. For me, it's also about our peripheral vision. Don't get closed-minded about it. Because if we be open about everything around us, the answer will come. And if your most Indigenous peoples of the world has spirituality that we always fall back on. And it's through that spirituality where the peripheral vision comes into play. And it's also about acknowledging ourselves when we're getting there, like what Cecilia said, you know, with her giving it out to everybody, the information, and then all of a sudden at my time, she gets words saying to her, have a look at it. Hey, you know, that's the spirituality stuff that's starting to happen. We get messages in all different ways. It's whether or not we are awoken to that. Yeah. And I'm pretty damn sure that the ladies that you work with through their life journey, they've been awoken to a lot of things. So therefore that part that they've been awoken to is going to carry them forward if they allow it to. So I wish them all the very best on their endeavors, and I will always say the world is your oyster. It depends on whether or not we're going to claim that. We know it, but the second thing is, are we going to take it? Yeah, that's
right. Just absolutely powerful, ladies. I've been really moved in my time with you, and I feel very honoured to have this opportunity to yarn with you. And I just thought for our wrap up, we'll practice what we do, which is about, you know, tell us where we can find you on social media or your website, wherever it might be. So do a bit of a marketing spell for us and show us how it's done. So maybe Cecilia, would you like to kick off? Where can we find more about you?
You can find me online at www.redhuia.com.au. My business is changing, so there's some things happening on the website and it's under construction. And you can also find me on Facebook and Instagram at Red Huia as well. And please send me messages. I love feedback. I love hearing feedback, or even just say hello, especially to a lady. Say hello so I know that they are with your group, because I'd love to have conversation with them. Red Huia, REDHUAR. Oh, no, R-A. REDHUIA.com.au.
Awesome. We love it. Keeping it real, Cecilia. Keeping it real, my friend.
I think you have to too. I think all of this is all about keeping it real, especially for our ladies.
Correct.
And, you know, they have families, they have children, they have other things outside of this. Yes. And being able to balance that and to be healthy in that space as well. That matters.
Yeah, totally agree. The beautiful Jodie. I wonder if you've got some crayfish that you could show me while you're finishing off. just so I can
I
make
don't
my
know.
husband
Sorry,
very jealous.
it's winter. It's winter here,
Oh,
so we
okay.
just have nasty kinners, which is like
Yes.
and powers.
Okay.
Not down with any of that.
All right.
But thank you, Cecilia. Gosh, she's so. Just having a little giggle because she's that awesome. So my website is www.human human design DESIGN with Jodie WITHJODIE.com. And so that's my website. You can also find me on Facebook, Jodie Reed. We are all friends. We are around. And yeah, I'd love to speak to any wahine that need any help. I'm totally there to support whatever we need. I'm really good with digital arts, social media, Canva, all that kind of juiciness. And I really like Turkish delight. So that's me. Thank you.
Thank you, Jodie. Kia ora. And Ainsley?
And I really love kina, paua, and crayfish. Iki, get you. So kia ora no tātou katoa mai atu I tēnei pō. He pakahi tēnei. What is my business? Rua Tupua Oils, spelled RUATIPUAOILS. So you can find me either at that website. Better yet, I've also got a personal Facebook page called Ainsley Brunton. There's a couple of us, but I'm the one with the muku kauai because apparently the ones that are trying to be scammy, they don't have a picture. So if you see this face, it's legit. I also have a Facebook page with Rua Tupua Oils, and just pop along and have a look. There's a good kōrero, good story about the logo. Nō reira, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa.
Thank you, ladies. All the very best. Absolute pleasure to spend time with you and give my love to the land of New Zealand. And who knows, one day might actually get to meet you in person, eh? Thank you, girls, so much. See you. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much, Maree.
Thanks.
Nice to meet you.